Hello and welcome to Lab Talk. Today's episode will be on choosing the right pH electrode. Lab Talk is a series of expert tips that we deliver virtually to the globe. It's a free series that we offer to our customers and our partners to help them get the most out of our products in their labs. Without further ado, I will introduce Steve Krynak. Steve Krynak is our commercial manager for water purification and analysis products here at Thermo Fisher Scientific. He has been with us for many years and he's an expert in this topic. So he's going to deliver us some tips on how to choose the right pH electrode to get your experiments moving forward, your science accelerating forward the first time and get you started on the right track. So Steve, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you very much, Angela. Good morning, everybody. As Angela mentioned, my name is Steve Krynak. I'm the commercial manager in the Americas for water analysis and water purification with Thermo Fisher Scientific. There are many pH electrodes in the market and sometimes can feel overwhelming when you're trying to choose that correct pH electrode for your application. So today, we're going to review some important factors in choosing a pH electrode and then also demonstrate some examples of the importance of different types of electrodes and their use in a couple different sample matrices. So how do we begin to choose a pH electrode? The types of available electrodes, desired electrode features, and the compatibility of the electrode with the sample are all determining factors in selecting the right electrode. But I believe the most important factor to consider is the sample. What is the sample? Are there any interferences in the sample, such as buffers like tris, or does the sample contain high amounts of protein? Does the sample contain large amounts of ions, such as salts? Are there any particulates in the sample? Does the sample have a higher viscosity? Is the sample being measured at a higher or lower temperature than room temperature? Once we have identified all the things around the sample matrix, let's look at the different factors to evaluate during electrode selection. The first factor to evaluate is the body type. Electrodes are available in both glass and epoxy plastic styles. Advantages of glass bodies are that they can be used at higher temperatures, they're compatible with almost any type of samples except HF, and are easy to clean. Epoxy bodies are extremely durable and can be used in harsh environments. Now let's look at body styles. The most common style is the standard 12mm version, which can be reused with a variety of samples. There are micro and semi-micro versions, and they can be used if only a small sample size is available. There are other styles, such as flat surface, which measures pH on surfaces of solid samples, spear tip, which can be used for piercing of samples, and also rugged bulb versions, which help breakage of the tip. Let's evaluate the junction type. Wick junctions are ideal for basic lab and field use. There are ceramic and capillary versions that are high quality and durable and can be used for most applications. Our versatile SureFlow junction is the best junction for dirty, difficult samples. It resists clogging and is easy to clean. It is ideal for thick and viscous samples, compatible with all sample types. Now let's look at reference styles. The single junction is a general purpose reference system, tried and true, and provides good measurement and temperature response. The double junction system reference is a better measurement response than the single junction version and is compatible with buffers and proteins. But the Thermo Scientific Orion Ross junction is compatible with buffers and proteins and also provides the fastest temperature and measurement response when compared to conventional electrodes. When we go to the immersive lab, we'll look at some of the Ross family of pH electrodes. And another thing to consider is fill type. Do you want to use a gel-filled electrode, which is a low maintenance electrode and is easy to use, or a refillable electrode, which requires some periodic maintenance, but also provides longer life and warranty? And lastly, temperature. Temperature is a variable in pH measurement, and changes in temperature will change pH values. An automatic temperature compensation sensor can be used with the pH measurement, or a pH electrode can be a triode, where the temperature sensor is actually built into the electrode body. This can be an advantage when factors such as sample size are limited. Now let's go to the immersive lab, where I will demonstrate some of the Ross family of pH electrodes. Okay, today we're going to take a look at the Ross SureFlow electrode. I mentioned in the presentation about the SureFlow electrode and how it resists clogging and is more rugged. So I have a glass Ross pH electrode, and the uniqueness of Ross is that, and we actually measuring some tomato juice, so not the greatest sample matrix, right? So if we look at the Ross electrode, we have the uniqueness of the Ross, which is the coil and the platinum and iodide, triiodide reference system. With the shear flow electrode, we have other samples to measure, and we don't want to have cross-contamination. So what's nice about shear flow is that we can take the top of the electrode, push down on it, and we can rinse out all interferences from the sample matrix. It's simple as that. And then to measure we'll rinse the sample off, rinse the electrode off, excuse me, and we can refill it. For our next sample measurement. This is a glass version, so samples such as tomato juice would be a good, in the food and beverage industry, would be a good choice to use this electrode. Additionally, we have an epoxy version. Say you need to take a sample out in the field that is muddy, dirty, something like this, right? So we have an epoxy version that's a little more rugged and durable, but again, it's still a shear flow electrode. And the sample maybe have gotten inside the junction. Again, we can rinse it out and very much the same, refill it. Another thing I mentioned in the presentation is around small sample size. This is our Ross 8220 semi-micro electrode. Say you have a small sample size that's only in a microcentrifuge tube. So using a micro electrode will help measure pH in that. And when this electrode is connected to one of our Orion VersaStar Pro meters with a log R module, there's no need for, that will do the temperature compensation, no need for an additional ATC probe. Next thing I want to do is just do a review of the Ross portfolio. This is our most common product that we sell, our Ross Ultra electrodes. We have versions in epoxy, both as a standard electrode and a triode, which is the built-in temperature compensation, glass versions, a semi-micro version, and also a gel-filled, which requires low maintenance, but still gives the customer that Ross quality. We call them Ultra. If you notice, they have a little bit bigger top head of the electrode, and they are more durable, and they have a longer warranty than our standard Ross electrodes. Again, here's some of our standard Ross electrodes. Again, you can see the orange color from the iodide, triiodide, and the platinum wire. And then we do offer standard electrodes, standard silver chloride, either single or double junction. So in summary, the sample type is the key driver in selecting a pH electrode. Using Thermo Scientific Orion Ross electrodes will get you the fastest response, highest accuracy, and best reproducibility in your pH measurement. Consider using the free-flowing liquid-to-liquid shear flow junction for difficult sample matrices to assure you of the most stable and drift-free measurements. And also use fresh, high-quality buffers and solutions to calibrate and maintain your pH electrode. This ensures your data to be both accurate and reproducible. Thank you for your time.
Hey, Steve, thanks for that awesome presentation and demo. So a couple of things I wanted to check in with you. Now, we do have some field team members that if you're not sure about your state of your electrode, whether you have the right one for your application, or even if you know if it's in good shape, if it should be continued to use, what's the best way to get somebody in to check on your electrode?
So we have a specialist team for the water analysis and water purification products called the Water Bandits, and they are regionally based, and they are the experts around our product line. You can go into our website and put in a lead, and we can come out and potentially visit you, or at least talk to you on the phone and help you work through your electrode challenges. And we also have a great tech support team based on our manufacturing facility in Chelmsford, Mass, that can help you through some of those issues also.
Awesome. And I do have a link in the resources section if you are interested in signing up for what we call a pH clinic, or even just to have one of our specialists pop in to check out your situation and your setup.